Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is King Manye. I'm the leader and the captain of my destiny, and I will succeed because I believe I will. Now, for those of you that are new to the page, go ahead and hit that like, comment, and subscribe and become part of the Manye tribe. I kick this content, about my prison stories, about my prison experience, and about life's experiences. Just trying to detour people from going to prison. If you like something you hear, make sure you share it. That's how we get the algorithm up, so I can get more views. So anyway, we're gonna hop straight into it, man. This story right here is about when I was in California men's colony, San Luis Obispo, California prison story, about the differences of why they have all these rules in place on a GP yard, a general population yard, and how these rules was used as a safeguard, as preventative measures to prevent war and to prevent people from getting into unnecessary trouble. So, one of the rules in most prisons that are general population, the rules is usually you only do business. You can do business with other races, but certain things you can't do, like get tattoos. Get tattoos from within your race. You don't get tattoos from another race. They can't tattoo on your skin to prevent issues of money, to prevent issues of somebody getting the wrong tattoo or getting a tattoo that they don't like, and now they don't want to pay a person, or they want to fight a person. Just to prevent all of this type of stuff, you would generally have to get tattoos from somebody of your own kind, of your own race. Same thing with gambling. You would gamble with people within your race. Same thing with playing sports. Now, playing sports did change. I remember at 2018, I think it was 2018, was the first time I was at Ironwood State Prison, and on the level 3 yard, the word had came down that it was now cool for the Southsiders to play with the blacks sports. So we could play basketball with them, we could play football, we could play baseball. And although everybody didn't rush to do it, majority of the people still kept it the old way. They didn't go play with them, interplay with different races. Some people did. And so that was the first time I seen it happening, and that was on the GP yard. And so that's when I kind of knew things were changing. Some type of call from the head had came down, I guess, for them, and so they was allowed to now play with the blacks. But anyway, this story is about California men's colony, which was what they call it, a non-designated program yard. This was basically a yard where they had mixed everybody. So if you were formerly SNY, or you was formerly or currently GP, general population, they mix you in a yard with the intentions that everybody here on these yards are programming and wants to go home, and they're not going to hold on to those old prison politics, and that basically they try to offer you more privileges on these yards. So on these yards, the rules is a little bit more lax. In fact, there is little to no structure. You will see blacks play with Mexicans. You will see white boys smoking with blacks. You would see people eating with each other, blacks, whites, Mexicans, everybody eating together. You would see all these things that was kind of like a culture shock. If you come from a regular GP yard, you would see these things. You would see people walking around on the yard in their shower shoes, and you would see all type of things that you were taught not to do. And so some people began to do that stuff that they was taught not to do because the environment changed, and they now thought it was acceptable. Well, because we was in an environment where it was acceptable. So there was an incident. Tino, I told a story about Tino last time. Tino's from the Bay Area. Tino was a Richmond cat. Tino was a rapper. Tino was a youngster. He was dark as midnight, looked like Akon, right? But he's from the Richmond area. He don't really socialize with his Bay Area cats for whatever reason, but he was cool. So, but Tino was one of the dudes who um, kind of started going with the flow of the environment. What I mean by that is he started doing business with other races that usually on a GP yard we wouldn't do. He started smoking with the other races, smoking. And a lot of people did. I didn't. And, some people did, but that's another story. So anyway, he started doing business with a Mexican, with a Southsider. He wanted to get tattoos. And so this was like, anybody that's been to prison, in my opinion, I just say in my opinion, the best artists are always the Mexicans, the Southsiders, or the Asians. They the ones who can draw. They the ones who do the best tattoos, generally. And so in a yard like a 50-50 yard, now that people can get tattoos from Southsiders and tattoos from Asians, a lot of people hopped on it. It was and the Mexicans didn't have a problem with it because this was good for business for them now, right? Now they got bigger clientele. And so now the opportunity opened where people can come home with better tattoos. So Tino hopped on it. Tino, he made a cash deposit. He made a deposit, to the artist of the yard, one of the hardest dudes who had a good hand. So I think he gave him about like $300, and that's supposed to cover he's supposed to get his whole back hit. I think his whole body, supposed to get everything hit. But like I say, this dude that he gave the money to, he's very popular as far as everybody wants him to do tattoos for him. And so it's a long line. But how you get around that, you go ahead, if you show him you're serious, you go ahead and put your money down. Tino put his money down. And so the dude couldn't get to him for like a month. Well, after that month, Tino began to notice that it appeared people were getting in front of him. Like, what I'm saying? Somebody would come, new to the yard, they would come, and all of a sudden they're getting tattoos when he's been here on the yard, and he should have been got his tattoos. So Tino starts getting, a little bit anxious, a little irritated. And, he presses the dude, and the dude always tells him, you know what, I got you this weekend. And so I guess after like maybe the third time, Tino going to him, asking him, like feeling like kind of played, like, what's going on? I thought we was going to do it this weekend and stuff. And the dude said something to him. No. Tino goes to him and asks him, what's up? And the dude told him again, like, just hold up, I got you, fool. My word's my word. Tino's like, fuck that, man. It's already been about 3 months. Just give me my money back. Just go ahead and shoot my money back. Green dot my money back. And then the Southsider tells him, like, fool, I'm not giving you shit back. That's gone. And so when he say that, Tino immediately fires on him. Boom! Fires on him. Black and Mexican fighting now. Tino gets to whooping his ass. Tino grabs him and drags him out the dorm, down the whole damn, it's his dorm setting. He drags him by his feet down the dorm by beating on him. And so, word after that happens, he beats him down pretty bad. Well, what happens is word travels around the yard that Tino just beat up a Southsider. Tino just beat up a Southsider. Tino just beat up a Southsider. And so it's like hella high tension. Even on a 50-50 yard, it's tension because the Southsider it was tension because this is black and brown. People don't know how this gonna go, right? Something about, I think after that, the dude went and got his knife. And so when something like that happens in the yard, you can feel the whole tension. It's hella quiet. You see people whispering. You see people bunching up in different cliques. And so I was in the dorm when this happened, next door. And I just seen the environment in my dorm change. As I seen 2 Mexicans come in and they go whisper to somebody something. And then I just seen everybody look. And I was like, so I go to my bunkie. I say, what's going on, man? My bunkie's from the Bay Area. He say, uh, some shit like, oh, dumbass Tino just fired on somebody, just got off on a Mexican. So I go look at the door, and when I look out the door, I see Tino talking to the neighborhood car, talking to somebody from East Coast. He talking to them and stuff, and I don't know what they saying to him or whatever, but I look and I see that, okay, everybody is kind of like grouping up. We don't know how this is going to turn on, so the word is just, you know what I'm saying, everybody be on their guard because it's probably about to go down because Tino just disrespected a Mexican. So, everybody's kind of like on the porch, everybody's on the yard, everybody's at a standstill watching to see how this is going to play out. And then we watched Tino talking to the neighborhood. I don't know why. I guess he has some type of relationship with them, but for some reason, they're the ones he was talking to. Dudes from East Coast. They had a lot of pool on the yard. So the dude from East Coast, he's a big dude. He walks with Tino, and they walk over to the Mexican group with the Mexican. And it was just complete silence on the yard as everybody watched and everybody braced for what's about to pop off. And whatever he went over there and said, I don't know, but I remember them shaking hands and walking away, and there was like a sigh of relief throughout the yard, throughout everybody. And then everybody waited to try to go, walk up to Tino or walk up to the dude from East Coast and say, hey, what happened? What is that about? What's going to happen? But the bottom line was it was squashed because the Mexicans as a whole, the one he went and talked to, come to find out, he said that dude is a dropout. He's saying that dude, the Mexican that Tino just did that to, was a dropout. So that's like, fuck him, he's on his own. But had he not been, we don't know how that would have went. But even if he was a dropout or not, they all still felt some type of way, I think. But like I say, on these type of yards, everybody is trying to program. Supposed to be, the majority of the people, especially the lifers, and they trying to get home. This is like a time like never before. So nothing happened, nothing popped off. Tino whipped his ass bad. I mean, drug him, disrespected him, hella bad, but he didn't get his money back. And so the rule is in prison, hands laid, debts paid. Tino was instructed, let that go. He ain't getting his tattoos. That dude got his money, and he already fucked him up. Tino was a youngster. He's like, fuck that. I'm gonna fuck him up again. He said, I'm gonna fuck him up again. He said, that ain't good enough for $300. That ain't a $300 ass whooping. I gotta get him again. They trying to tell him like, nah, you can't do that again, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But he technically can, because now the dude's exposed. He ain't really got he got protection as far as with, I'm sure there's some dropouts that feel like some, but he don't got the protection of the other people. Now, there's a lot to this story, man. The first thing is this. On these 50-50 yards, the rules and lines are blurred, so it opens it up to unnecessary trouble. Stuff that could be prevented had people stuck to the rules that they was laced to in the beginning. Second thing, you hear this story, and in case you didn't notice, some of the people in here are still referred to as Southsiders. On them yards, them people still consider themselves active. That ain't my debate, whether they is or whether they ain't. But I know there's some people who will say them niggas ain't no good no more. But if you tell them that, because it's a lot of them. There's a lot of them over there on them yards who ain't never snitched, who ain't never done none of that, but they just over there, they just going home. And so they regular essays in my head, but I know they might got their own little ruling or whatever. So, do they hang with each other and all that type of shit? To a degree. So I tell this story just to go ahead and outline the importance of rules and boundaries and having structure. Always remember that rules are made to protect you and the environment. And once you step outside of those rules and step outside of those guidelines, you expose yourself to unnecessary trouble, and you can potentially cause danger for everybody else, man. Check this out. I'm King Manye. I'm the leader and the captain of my destiny, man. I will succeed because I believe I will. I was sent here to inspire those who are great and tend to forget it sometimes. Now, if you like what you hear, make sure you hit the thumbs up. And remember that it's never too late to change. And I'm going to tell y'all a story about what happened to my arm in a minute. Tune in next time.